Getting ready for your IELTS reading test? Let's take a look at the 3 sections of the IELTS reading test, what type of questions you might find, and look at some strategies and tips to help you ace your test. Hello and welcome back. My name is Claire, and in this British Council IELTS preparation video, we're going to look at the IELTS reading test. We'll focus on the question types you'll see in the IELTS academic reading test. There are quite a lot to get through, and we'll also work on the best strategies to improving your band score. Let's start by quickly going over what to expect on test day. The reading test lasts 60 minutes and includes 3 sections. Each section has different reading passage, and you'll answer 40 questions. If you take IELTS on computer, remember there's no additional time given as your answers are saved as you move through the test. Time management is important to avoid running out of time at the end. There is 1 reading per section of the test. Spending 15 minutes on section 1 is ideal. Sections 2 and 3 present more challenging and complex material, so reserve around 20 to 23 minutes for each. The IELTS academic reading text will be academic in style, but won't be full of technical language, so you won't require any specialist knowledge. The material you may encounter includes extracts from books, journals, newspapers, and professional magazines. The topics usually touch on things like history, science, or other wide-ranging, but not overly specialized areas of study. As we know, the topics can vary. The key thing we can focus on is knowing what type of questions we can expect to see. We have quite a variety of question types to understand, 11 in total. So let's break them down and look at some examples. Something that I will repeat and that is extremely important to remember throughout your IELTS reading test: you must read the question carefully. You may notice that certain question types are presented in various formats or with different rules. Be mindful not to lose marks because you didn't read the question correctly. For instance, you may need to choose 1 answer from 4 options or 2 answers from 5 options. Read those instructions. Multiple choice questions typically present a question or the beginning of a sentence followed by 4 potential options labeled A, B, C, or D. Your task is to carefully read the questions and select the correct option. Occasionally, there might be additional options requiring you to choose more than 1 correct answer in certain cases. This is why it is vital that you read the instructions very carefully. I know I sound like a broken record, but I just want you to do your best. Now let's chat about the second type of question, identifying information. In this question, you'll encounter a list of statements with the question. Do the following statements agree with the text? Your task is to read the text and decide whether each statement is true, false, or not given, based on the information provided in the text. Notice how I said in the text. You should make the choice solely based on the information provided in the text. Answers based on general knowledge is an absolute no. Another key point to watch out for is understanding the distinction between false and not given. It's crucial. If the statement contradicts the information in the text, meaning it's the opposite of what's being said, it is marked as false. When the text lacks the necessary information to answer the question, the statement is marked as not given. With the next type of question, we must pinpoint the writer's views or claims. Similar to our last question type, you'll be presented with a list of statements and the question asked, do these statements match with what the writer thinks or claims? You must read the text and select yes if you think the writer thinks or declares this, no if you think the writer thinks or declares the opposite of this, or not given if the text doesn't clarify the writer's views on the statement. Again, be mindful of the difference between not given and no, and don't let any prior knowledge of a topic influence your answer. Only use the information in the text. Let's move on to matching information. You'll find a list of sentences related to the text. For each sentence, locate the paragraph or text where this information or idea is mentioned. Your task is to match each sentence to the paragraph or text which mentions that information or idea. In the IELTS reading section, paragraphs are lettered for easy reference. So for example, the first paragraph will be paragraph A, the second paragraph will be paragraph B, and so on. Be aware that multiple sentences might connect the same paragraph. So yes, I will mention it again. Read the instructions carefully before you